Now, I want to teach you about the Spendthrift Trust because so few people have ever heard of this. It's legal, it's patented in the IRS Tax Code 643B, like Bravo. This has been in front of the U.S. Supreme Court twice. Both times, the Supreme Court has favored opinions for the Spendthrift Trust, and I have plenty of case law to share with people. I know a lot of people think this is completely false, so I want to tell you about a book that when you're becoming a trust attorney, you're going to study this in school. It's called the Scott and Asher on Trust, 5th edition. You can get it at Amazon. Well, it was out of order last week. I haven't checked it this week. But Scott and Asher on Trust, 5th edition. I also can give you articles from Forbes magazine. I can give you letters of opinion, everything else. I want to tell you why this is so special. With this trust, you're going to save federal taxes, keep your information private, and you'll pay no judgments if you get sued. Do you realize 1 in 3 people get sued every year in the United States? That's a lot of people. So when I say you pay no judgments, I can't stop you from being sued, but you're going to be worth nothing because everything you have will be either in the business trust or the beneficial trust, and our creditors can't get that. So it's an amazing thing. So a little bit of history. Right now in the United States, 97% of all trusts sold in the United States are only going to help you avoid going through probate, and then they dissolve. I know somebody who's also doing what's called insurance trust that goes from generation to generation, but it's only for the insurance policy. I'm telling him, put the insurance policy into the Spendthrift Trust and make it blow up even more. Now, to give you some history on the Spendthrift Trust, it comes from England way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. He got in trouble for chopping off his wives' heads with the states of Europe, so he started the Church of England and went to go tax the lords and ladies of England. The lords and ladies went even further back into history to the Magna Carta and said, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. So this comes from England as contract law, came to the U.S. colonies when we were still a colony of England. The law firm I work on behalf of has a trust they've inherited from another law firm that, unfortunately people have passed away. But that trust is turning 350 years old in 2023. This is as legal can be. I want to help as many business owners, people making 1099 income. Maybe you're a real estate agent. Maybe you're an affiliate marketer. Maybe you've got a pizza parlor. Maybe you're a salesperson. That if you're making 1099 income at a side hustle or as your full-time job, you need to know about the business trust. And then the beneficial trust is for investors. I don't care if you're a passive investor, if you're a real estate investor, if you're a crypto investor, if you're a crypto miner, if you're doing stock market trading, if you're doing options trading, day trading, forex trading, you have silver coins, you have royalties. I get paid royalties for selling the trust. All of this is going to be saved in the beneficial Spendthrift Trust. So I'm going to first go over the business trust, then I'm going to go over the beneficial trust so you know the ins and outs. I can legally say that anyone who's making 1099 income in the United States is going to save 70% or more on their federal taxes year after year after year. So I'm giving you an example of somebody I'm working with. He has 2 New York-style pizza places here in the Charlotte area. He's making $12,000 a month. So when I do his things, I've got my calculator, so I'm going to do this on the side so we know exactly what we're doing. $12,000 a month times 12, he's making about $144,000 a year. There are 7 different layers of taxes. With this amount, $144,000 a year, we know he's at 24% tax rate. So $144,000 times 0.24, he's going to pay $34,560 a year to the federal government for his taxes in his 2 pizza places. He makes fantastic white pizza. So with this trust, I can legally say he's going to save 70% every year. So that $34,560 times 0.70, This means he's going to save $24,192 every year. 2023, 2024, 2026, 2027, 2028. And then this is going to go from generation to generation to generation. Now, I know what you're all asking. You're like, well, how much does a trust cost? He asked the same question. So when I take out the cost, it's $20,500. So in his first year, he's going to save only $3,692 because he's going to pay for the trust. But he's going to put everything he owns into the trust. His house, the water bill, the electric bill, the garbage pickup, his car, the registration on the card, the insurance on the car, buying gas, buying everything he does is in the trust, and he's going to save taxes on that. This is for 1099 income earners. I run 3 businesses through my business trust, and currently I'm saving about 92% every year because I have everything in the trust. I can't say this is typical. I can only tell you will save at least 70% of your 1099 income through the trust. Unfortunately, one question I get all the time is, what about W-2 income? This does not help W-2 income. But if you're doing a side hustle, or you're doing an affiliate marketing, or if you're doing MLM sales, you're getting paid in 1099 income. Now to the beneficial trust. With the beneficial trust, I have 6 nurses and 5 teachers who have the beneficial trust. What they're doing as nurses or as teachers, one of my teachers just retired and she has a pension. That cannot be in the trust. What they're doing for their salaries are outside of the trust. But if you're in if you're doing real estate, if you're doing forex, if you're doing dividend investing, if you're doing royalties, you're going to save the following taxes year after year after year, generation after generation. You're not going to pay capital gains, short-term or long-term. Just to give you an idea, I work with business brokers because when you sell a business, any business in the United States, it might be a stationery store, it might be an Amazon store, you're going to take out the cost of the business that you started with and then what you sold it for, and that in between, you're going to pay either 15% or 20% in capital gains April 15th, 2024, or whenever after you sell that. I am saving business owners quite a bit of money. So I'm going to still do this with my calculator because I'm not good with numbers. So I had a gentleman who's going to sell an HVAC company. He started it from scratch, $1.7 million times 0.15. He's going to save $255,000 at 15%, or $340,000 at 20%. He started this business on his own, so that we don't have to take out anything from when he started it to when he's selling it. He's got bursitis of the knees, and it really hurts him to kneel. So he's retiring early. He's getting Social Security disability. They won't know that he sold his business because this is all private. He's going to save either $255,000 at 15% or $340,000 at 20% to fund his retirement. He's 62 years old. His wife is 58. This is going to help from the next 30 years and then send it on to their family. That's the business trust. With the beneficial trust, that was the beneficial trust because he sold that business, $1.7 million. Woo, I'm going crazy. You're going to save capital gains, short-term and long-term. You're going to save the long-term when you're selling a business. You're going to save interest income. So if you're a passive investor, you're a forex investor, you're doing the BRRRR strategy, or like myself, I have notes. That's interest income. One of my clients has 85 houses in Texas. He went to a CPA 3 years in a row, 3 years, saying, I'm paying too much in interest income. So he started the trust. A friend referred him to me. With this trust, we saved him $153,000 in 2023. And even more because he bought more houses in that was 2022. He's going to save even more money in 2023 because he's reinvesting the money, $153,000. Now, forex investors, bad news for you. If you're a forex investor, you're paying interest income and capital gains on what any profits you're making. You need the Spendthrift Trust. Dividend income. If you are in the stock market, if you're doing dividends or options trading, you need this trust. You're going to save dividend income and options trading. Dividend income is taxed. Everything is taxed between 10% to 37%, 7 different layers. I don't know what your tax bracket is. You'll have to tell me, but you'll save that. If you're doing options trading, if it's less than a year, you're being taxed at 40%. If it's longer than a year, you're being taxed at 60%. Save that money on all your profits with the Spendthrift Trust. Rental income. You might have short-term rental. You might have long-term rental. Yes, you can take depreciation in the trust just like you do with when you're in your LLCs. But you're going to save. Rental income is taxed between 10% to 37%, 7 different layers. But the most important thing for you people with rental income, if you have Airbnb, Vrbo, traveling nurses, or students, or if you have 10 doors, 20 doors, 100 doors, or a multifamily. One thing you're going to save is you're not going to be sued. Though I can't stop you from being sued. You're not going to pay any judgments if you get sued. One of my clients who has 100 doors in Chicago, true story, we sat next to each other at a national meeting. One of his renters had his dog get loose, bit the mailman. The mailman hired an attorney. He had 2 properties in each LLC. The attorney found 2 of those LLCs. The mailman was paid out $400,000. If now that he's in the trust, this would not happen again, and he could save that $400,000. True story on this client. He has one of those very expensive RVs that you need a bus license for. One of those huge RVs. Back in August of 2022, he could not slow down fast enough for traffic. He hit the car in front of him, and that car got pushed into the car in front of her. No one was injured, thank God. The woman jumps out of the car, and she goes, "I'm going to sue you for everything you have." So his insurance card, the trust pays for the insurance and the registration on the RV. His driver's license has his name on it. So 4 weeks after the accident, the cars were fixed, everything was taken care of. Maybe his insurance policy went up, I don't know. But 4 weeks after the accident, he got sued by the woman who was in the middle. She wanted to sue him for $600,000 for pain and suffering. She could only sue Patrick because she had his driver's license, but Patrick owns nothing. So the lawsuit went away. All his 120 doors in Chicago, his RV, his home, and everything else he does is in the trust. I hate to say this, but somebody who has this trust, you might remember this, O.J. Simpson was acquitted suing for killing his wife and Ron Goldman. The Goldmans sued O.J. Simpson for $135 million. They sued O.J. the person. He's worth nothing. All his property, all his football memorabilia, his money from his commercials, everything else is in the trust, and they could not get a hold of this. That's rental income. Royalties. If you're an actor, unfortunately you're on strike. If you're an actor, an actress, an author, a playwright, songwriter, a musician, if you have oil wells or mineral rights, one of my clients inherited his granddad's horse farm in Oklahoma. There's 6 oil wells on that property. If selling this trust is considered a royalty, you're going to save royalty income. It's taxed a little bit less. It's 7 different layers, between 10% to 35%, 7 different layers. If you go out to my website, thetrustisyou.com, I have a free 18-minute education that you can watch right there, or you can have it sent to you by email to tell you more about the trust. My podcast is Stop Paying Capital Gains Now with an exclamation mark. And I go live every Monday night. So tonight, 8 p.m. East Coast time, I will do a live. I'm going to post it everywhere I go. So you can come. I'm going to go over the slide deck, and then you can. I open it up to answer your questions and answers. I do not bring anybody live on TikTok because one time I did, and someone was naked. I couldn't shut it off fast enough. It was a live, so I don't bring anybody on TikTok for live. I do offer a JV agreement. So if you are teaching people about investing in real estate, if you're teaching people how to do forex training, or if you have people you want to refer to, the trust is you/affiliate. You can sign up as an affiliate, and when you refer someone to me and they buy the trust, I will pay you $600 by Zelle, by PayPal, by Cash App, or mail you a check. This is how I work with my business brokers. They get $600 when they refer somebody to me. So again, thank you for watching this. I will go live tonight, 8 p.m. East Coast time. I won't do it on TikTok. Take care, y'all. Remember, thetrustisisyou.com. Take care. Bye-bye.